Hey guys, Jeremy, Simple Little Life. I'm so glad I had the camera set up with the sky earlier this morning because right now outside, it's like this. This has been our summer. Our summer has been riddled. I would say more days a week we have smoke in the air and it's kind of bleh. Basically, without having a campfire, you smell like a campfire every day. So that's kind of a plus, I guess. But anyways, got a lot of things to take care of. I have to ship a whole bunch of stuff out, a bunch of sanding blocks, a couple knives. Also, we're gonna do a little bit more work on that Trekker knife. This knife right here, and so we're gonna go ahead and cut down these plugs, maybe thread and tap them, start looking at fixing the scales to this. I've had a lot of comments and questions about this t-shirt. I printed this like on my vinyl cutter and made it into a t-shirt. So it's just a giraffe, and they're trying to hang him, but they can't hang him because he's too tall. And then at the bottom here, it says, death proof. Now, obviously, I know I'm not invincible. I don't think that's necessarily a healthy attitude. I believe people are way too safe about everything. Like, you know, you put helmets on your kids so they don't fall in the living room and hit their head on a coffee table. Maybe not, but I also like the idea that people are trying to determine this giraffe's fate. And he's kind of like, you know what? Not today. You're not hanging me today. He's death proof. Obviously, the responsible thing to do is get my packages shipped out so the customers will have them before we get to work on this. I'm getting really, really close on the knife orders so that I'm really hoping next week you can just boom, hit it and just start really focusing on complete builds. Oh, that'd be so exciting. So hopefully I just need to keep pushing through this week. Just kind of keep on giving her. Had a good start today. Got about 5 a.m. this morning and had a good start on getting everything else taken care of. So we're this close. Hopefully by the end of this week, we will be there. Okay. All right, we are just gonna head to the post office and drop off a couple of packages. I'm trying to do this in the heat of the day so that hopefully this afternoon will be a little cooler and we can do a little grinding. Oh, yeah. Smells like I'm having a campfire. I love campfires. It's warm again today. All right, so we're gonna put the grinding aside for a minute and we are going to figure out the screws that we need to put the scales on our Trekker knife. I'm sorry if I'm all sweaty. It's hot in here. A little box of screws. Guys, right here. Oh, shoot. I don't have enough black. Oh, okay, I do. Okay, phew. This is the screw that we need. Let's figure out what pitch that is. What thread we need for that. I'm gonna need a thread pitch gauge, and I don't think it's metric. I think it's imperial. Super duper thread pitch gauge. What are we gonna start with? I don't know if it's 32. Let's try 28. Wow, I am off on that one, that's for sure. How about 32? Oh, I need to zoom out. Stand by. All right, so if I take my 32 pitch gauge here, well, we see, come on, we could see if this camera could focus. Come on, Horndinkus. So there we go, we've got a nice match up there, and that is a 32 TPI, I think number 8. Okay, so using the magic of taps and dies, we've determined it is an 832. So this is what we're gonna drill it out. We'll check out our tap drill size for an 832. Handy little book. If you don't have one of these, worth picking up. This is purely like building type stuff, this little book here. Lee Valley is where I purchased this one from. Incidentally, I think this was produced first by a Albertan, so that's cool. Alberta. Now, checking with this super book. See, I've got a bookmark here for my tap drill size stuff. This is pretty much the only page, well, this is the page I frequent the most. 832, which is a national course. 832, I need a number 29 drill bit. Where am I gonna get a 29 drill bit? From my number drill bit index, of course. Oh, I've used this one before. I left brass on it, let me just make sure. So, what we will do, we're gonna take our little aluminum bar shingus and figure out which parts we want for which holes. Again, we had this whole fiasco where these holes were different sizes. And I'm just going to kind of part off little spacers. A lot of really cool suggestions and input that you guys had of different ways to doing this. And a lot of them certainly could have been done, but I kind of think since I turned this bar and I'm heading down this road, I'm just going to keep going. But really, really good ideas. I'm going to slap this sucker in the lathe and we'll start parting off a couple of spacers. Alright, so we got that surface faced off, and now what we need to do, we need to grab a center drill. I know I've got small ones somewhere. Those are all big center drills. We'll just use this. So we're going to take a center drill, and if you don't know, the reason you use these is because these will do a much better job at finding the center, at drilling a hole right in the center of round stock on the lathe rather than a drill bit. These things are very rigid, and these are the most accurate way to put a hole right in the center of your stock. So the next part of this whole dealio, spin our tool holder around, and we're going to part this thing off. Okay, so that material is actually 0.299, so that's roughly what we're going to go for here. And I usually do things a very, very lazy way. I'll just mark it like this. Instead of like touching here, moving over the distance on my dials, taking into account the thickness of our cutter, I usually just give myself a mark and set it to that and cut. I know it's not necessarily the right way to do it, but whatever. It works, right? And again, I don't want to be the exact thickness. A little bit less would be good. So we're just going to go right there, and I think that'll be good. You know what? We're going to move this in. We're gonna move this down farther so we got a better bite on it. Alright, so we've got 3 of these little spacers done, and what I've done is I put a countersink into the chuck, and I'm going to chuck each one of these up this side, then flip it over, do this side, and we're just going to countersink this hole just the slightest bit, just to make sure we don't have any burrs in there, and that way our tap will enter the hole nice and smoothly. Look who is coming to see me.
Kitty, kitty, come on. Come on.
We have 6 black kittens. Very, very friendly. You shouldn't sneak into the shop while I'm working. No, what if I stepped on you? That's where you guys hang out, huh? Oh, you're just a lazy little kitty, aren't you? Oh, you're just a big suck, aren't you, little kitty? You just like snuggles. I think that's all you like to do is snuggles. Yeah, good little kitty. Okay, little kitty, I gotta go back to work. Have fun. Sparkles, our cat, had a whole bunch of kitties. We got 6 little kitties around, and they're pretty cute, but they always stand in front of the door. You really gotta pay attention, because I don't want to step on them. Got our 3 little parts done up, and now we're gonna tap them. To do that, I'm actually going to put them in the lathe again, and we will put a live center in here. All right, so we're gonna move this tooling, get this kind of out of the way, tighten this down just for a moment. The light in here is really weird right now. Bright light, but it's filtered through all the smoke. It feels weird to me. Oh, I'm totally distracted. What am I doing here? Okay, so bang, I'll pop this sucker out. I'll take our live center here. So essentially the tailstock here's got this taper. These are Morse tapers, I believe. And this is what they call a live center. So this would go in here, and there's a centering point on here, and it's actually got a bearing in here. So a live center, you'd call this one. You can get like a dead center, and it'll be this with just a bar where the point doesn't rotate, but right now we're just gonna put this in here. This camera battery is about to die. This little guy right here, my G7X Mark II, I had 3 batteries for it and I lost one, so I'm down to 2. The other one's still charging. This one's saying it's dead, so I've got to switch up the cameras. Now where were we? We put in the live center. Now we're gonna stick one of these little chinguses in here, and we're gonna do a 1-2 taparoo. And so here's where we get to the advantage of using a live center to do this. Just to make sure I can get this tap started nice and straight, what we'll do is we'll bring this up kind of close. I want to be able to remove it. You see the end of this tap, has a little divot in it, and that will line up nicely with our center. Tap fluid and a toothbrush. Why a toothbrush, you ask? We'll get to that.
Okay, so I don't want to put a lot of pressure on here. Actually, I'm going to hold this in here. I'm just going to bring this live center up. Again, I really don't want to be pushing this in here at all. But what I want to do is just keep a nice little bit of pressure on there. Open this, because that's like a safety. Make sure this won't run. And then we're just going to kind of tap and feed it in with the center just to keep us nice and straight. I'm expecting this to go quite smoothly because it's aluminum. And it's not a very deep hole. Okay, so we can pull this out of here now. We're done with that because we were mostly through. Switch this to ratchet mode. Oh yeah. Excellent. This is what the toothbrush is for. Get rid of all that junk.
That actually looks not too bad. I think we got enough meat in there. I think these will do the trick. And just like every other step, we'll do this one 2 more times. Got a little thingy here. Oh, that's actually a really good fit. That is nice and snug. Like that screw. The screw is not sloppy in there at all. That's awesome. That's what I wanted to see. Let's take stock of where we're at here. Got our inserts done, and so the way they're gonna go is like this. Okay, I should have drilled through my micarta maybe before I tapped it, but I think we can get around that. That's where these screws are gonna go to bolt the scales on. I think that should be okay for spacing. I think that's gonna work. Alrighty. Well, that's pretty much it for today, guys. I'm gonna go and have some supper. I apologize we didn't get more done on that knife. I was really hoping to make more progress. I had a bunch of other stuff come up, and then go to the post office and some other orders that I didn't film. Still gotta get work done, trying to make these videos, and we can build things together. So tomorrow the plan is we're gonna get some more work done on that Trekker knife. Hopefully we'll get the scales bolted up to the handle there, and then we can kind of start shaping and profiling them as well. We're gonna do a little more grinding on some other orders, all kinds of good stuff. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. You can click this little circle right here, and then if you'd like to check out a couple other playlists or videos, I'll have them here for you. Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.